All right, so let's dive in here and actually talk about the objection handling process. All right. So I'm just going to give an example with an offer, and then I'll talk about different things. But just to go macro first before I go micro, the two biggest things I want you to be very focused on is making sure that you assume the close, right? And that's super important because you want to make sure that you're always assuming the close, and then to make sure that they can bring up an objection. So that's one thing. And then it kind of coincides with this, right? You want them to bring up the objection so you know how to handle it. All right. So let's dive into the beginning. All of this has so much power and so much weight because you will know what's going on with the objections. And I'll create some examples. Okay. So we always want to pitch with the price at the end. The pitch should only be 5 or 10 seconds long, or maybe 15, 20. It shouldn't be super long. They're going to ask about the price, or you're going to say, are you ready to join? They'll say yes. Awesome. So just to let you know, the next steps are, I am going to email you invoice. We do everything on call. You always want to make sure that we say we do everything on call. And the next steps are simply, once you get that process, we'll get you invited through Slack in the next 24, 48 hours, or anything that they have communications with, and or you'll also be invited inside of the mentorship program. And the total price for the 6 months, and let's use this offer here with Ecom, the total price for 6 months is going to be $5,500, right? And you just wait and you let them come and say something to you. They're going to say, oh, okay, that sounds good. Got it. Assume the close. Okay, awesome. So the email that I have on file for you is, you go to Calendly or whatever way you have their email, is X, Y, and Z correct? Yes. Okay, boom. And then you end up, trying to make sure that you close this person, right? So when you assume to close, you're going to end up getting to person. Yes. Okay, awesome. So I'm just going to simply send you a 5,500. I'm going to send you an invoice to your email. Once you get that process, then we'll get everything started up. So you want to take 10 to 15 seconds on your end, right? They say, okay, right? Even if they say okay without certainty. Okay. Okay. Awesome. So the email file I have on voice is X, Y, and Z. Yes. Okay. So next steps I'm going to do is make sure that I'll send that invoice to you, and then we'll get that sorted. You'll be up and ready to go, building your store inside of everything. Boom. You send that invoice, right? And they're going to say, wait. Well, is it today? Yes, everything's on the call today. Do I have to pay it in full? Remember, you let them bring up the objection. Yeah, we do one-time payment, right? If we give the payment option first, we don't know what's going on. We want them to bring up the objection, right? Assume the close, let them, you pay it all today? Yeah. Oh, well, I have to think about it, right? So then it goes to the double tie down. Right now we're getting to objections. Okay, well, just to have more clarity, everything with the program makes sense. Is that correct? Yes, everything with the program makes sense. Okay, so you know that the program is something that at 100% is going to work for you. You're super all in. Yes. Okay, so, and then in this specific area is going to be a little bit different. So in this case, you just have to think about it. And now what exactly do you have to think about it? I just have to look at my finances. Okay, so it just has to do strictly with finances. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Open wallet, right? Let's create another scenario. Oh, well, I don't know if I can do the full payment right now. I have to look at my finances. No worries. Everything with the program makes sense to you? Yes. Okay, so you know you're 100% in. You know this will work for you. Yes. Okay, so it strictly just has to do with finances. Yes. Okay, boom, another situation. Oh, I have to talk to my partner, right? Okay, well, no worries. Well, everything with the program makes sense. Is that correct? Yes, it makes sense. Okay, so you're 100%, you know that's going to work for you. Yes, I'm all in. Okay, so you just have to talk about this with your partner. Now, what exactly you have to talk about your partner with? Oh, I have to just talk about the numbers and everything. I didn't know it was going to be that much. No worries. And then open wallet. So it just has to do with finances. Is that correct? Right. Okay, so just so I have clarity, right now we're going to open wallet for all these situations. Just so I have clarity on my end, because it's typically going to be finances, or you go back to the program. but it's mostly going to be finances at the beginning, just so I have clarity on my end, and understand what's going on. You know, because we do have some options available, but let's kind of do the partner one, right? But obviously, you probably don't know what those options are before I even talk about what's really going on with the numbers. So, typically what I do is I just make sure to have more clarity on your numbers, and then we can maybe figure out something that could work. Just so if you were to talk to your partner, it would make more sense. But again, just to let you know, we typically do everything on call, but I'll talk about, maybe some options as well. Does that sound good? Yeah, that sounds fine. Oh, you have to think about it. What do you have to think about? The payment. Okay, just so I'm clear, just to understand the numbers, maybe I can talk about different options that we may have. I can't promise that. But in order for me to do that, I can actually just understand the numbers on your end. Does that sound good? Yeah, it sounds good. Okay, awesome. Open wallet, right? So I think practicing this is super good. You do everything on the call? It's today? Yeah. Is one-time payment? Yeah, it's one-time payment, right? And this, you want to be making sure that you have a good mindset with this. Like a lot of times with closers, they end up feeling like they're afraid to lose a sale, or they're like, oh yeah, I'm just not going to do it. No worries, go through the process. Just so I'm clear, everything with the program makes sense. Yeah, everything makes sense. So it just has to do, what do you have to think about? Oh, I have to think about the price. Okay, so it just has to do with finances. Is that correct? Boom, open wallet. Just so I'm clear, share your screen and Google Doc. Share your screen and Google Doc, right? So you go to Google Doc, and then the open wallet process, right, is now this. You get all their finances. This is step one. And then you go to this step. You get all their finance. Okay. So just so I'm clear and understand on where you're at, you said right now, what is your monthly income at the moment? You literally write monthly income, right? Boom. Well, my monthly income is about 5K. Okay. And just income after expenses, what does that typically look like? I pretty much bring around 2K. Okay, awesome. And do you have any investments like credit, or do you have any access to credit? Right, that's its own thing. Yeah, but I only have like 1K on this. Okay, got you. And any access to investments like stocks or crypto or anything like that? Um, yeah, I don't really put that much, but I have about like 2K. Okay, got you. So you have about 2K. And then any savings that you have right now at the moment? Yeah, I have about, this is where you're going to get a big thing. Yeah, I got about 15K in savings, or 20K in savings. Okay, 20K in savings. Okay. So now you add everything up, right? You go here, you total amount, pitch again, right? Okay, so it looks like you got about 27, 28. So you got about 28K plus 2K every month. And this is the way you pitch it, right? You pause. Okay, so it looks like right now, and you write total. Total right now, you have 28K and 2K every month. They're going to say, yeah. Okay. Now we pitch again, right? You get all their finances, total amount, pitch again. Is there any reason, now, just so I have more clarity, is there any reason why 5,500 wouldn't work for you? Right? You ask that question, total amount, pitch again. What's going to happen is they're going to come up with objections, right? It's going to either be the doubts with the program, anything with their partner, or some sort of fear, right? And I can write more things, but I'm just going to go to these basic ones, right? All right, cool. Yeah, I just don't know if this will really work for me. Okay, so it does have to do with the program. Okay, now, what do you feel like? What do you feel like won't work for you in regards to the program? Yeah, well, I just feel like I'm not going to get enough support, and I'm not going to be able to get in a position where I'm going to have the most support to really, okay, well, let's talk about that, right? Well, you are going to have the 6 one-on-one calls. You're going to have Slack where we're going to keep you accountable. And all you simply have to do is go through the modules, make sure you build the course, or you go through the course modules, you build your store, set up your store, and you start running ads. Now, is anything there that you feel like you won't have support? Right? And they'll be like, yeah, I just feel, okay, well, how about let me just give you a quick video, and then you have that Loom video for Johnny, right? And Johnny kind of explains everything that he goes in depth with the store. I mean, do you feel like that's not enough support? Right? And then you end up breaking that, right? Or anything like, oh, I just I just have to think about it. Right? Well, what do you have to think about it? Well, that's just a lot of money. Okay. Now we go into the reinvestment strategy. They have to think about, I mean, what do you have to think about exactly? It's just a lot of money. Do you feel like you're going to lose that money, or like it's not going to work, or what's going on? Yeah, it's just a lot of money at once. I never really paid that much, right? Now we go into their identity. Okay, well, didn't you say that you did want to actually, quit your job and actually travel more and be able to hang out with your kids a little bit more? Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, like, end of the day, I mean, maybe like you might feel like it's a hit, but you know, you're still going to have 23K and you're going to recover with the 2K every single month after that. Yeah, I just never really done this at once. Well, I mean, think of it this way: identity, right? Well, one, you're investing in yourself, right? So I go reinvestment plus identity. You're investing in yourself, right? And so if you want to think about this, like, a lot of people get into stocks, they get into, they put money into real estate because they're like, man, I know this is the right investment. So it shouldn't be any different in this case because you're investing in yourself. Now, two, a lot of times people don't actually reach the goals that they actually want to hit. This actually lands more for me, I think. A lot of people don't really understand why they're not reaching their goals. And a lot of it is because they didn't invest in themselves in the right thing. If you think about it, right, in this position, if you're in a position right now and you're living the same and you're taking the same types of actions, you're going to have the same type of results, right? But if you invest in yourself in a position, you have the ability to open up the door so then you can travel more, so that you can actually spend more time with your daughter, so that you can quit your job, right? But it takes simple decisions that are you taking action on that's going to create a different type of lifestyle. Does that make sense? And they might be like, yeah, that does make sense. It's just still a lot of money. Well, let's talk about it. Again, you're still going to have 23K, which is more than enough money. You're going to be making 2K every month, which is more than enough money for you, right? And again, this is the type of decisions that you need to be making to produce a different type of lifestyle. You can't be doing the same exact thing and producing a different lifestyle. It just doesn't make sense. It's like trying to say, 1 + 1 = 5. And you're like, well, how do I get 1 + 1 to equal 2, or 1 + 1 to equal, 2 or 5 with the different numbers that aren't adding up, right? And so that could maybe get to them, right? We're doing reinvestment. We're doing lots of things with understand their identity. But if they don't really break with that, right, then what I like doing, and I should add arrows to all of this, I'll do it right now. They don't break down with all of this. What ends up happening is I just go with the deposit. They always have to think about it. Okay, so right now you just have to think about it because it's a lot of money. Okay, got it. Well, I can't force you to change how you feel about it. And if you understand what I'm doing here, I haven't even negotiated the price because I don't need to, because this person has more than enough money, right? Okay, well, what we can do, because we do have limited spots available, we typically do everything on call, and we're very, 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 we have, we're very, we reserve our time a lot just for people who are very serious. So we're actually very picky with the time slots that we have open for people, or that's the right word. We're very selective on the time that we use with people, that we have with people. What we can simply do is just do a simple $1,000 deposit. That way, if you think about it, you can come back. Maybe you're just having some fear, and that's the only reason why you're not actually, feeling like you're in a position where you can do this. And hey, I can't change your mind, but maybe you just need to take a walk, pump yourself up. Maybe you're in a position where you say, hey, like, I have to do this. And then that's the main reason why that will get you into position. And we can still reserve your spot while we're on the call, because I can't promise that you're going to be in a position where that spot will still be, open for you. And then what you end up doing is you'll get, I'm going to add this here, actually. I should have added this. What you'll get is you'll either get a yes or a no, but you can actually do a takeaway. If they can't do the deposit, the biggest thing that you can do is you say, well, and I should actually be right here. Well, Can I be honest with you? Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you can't do a deposit right now, I mean, you have more than enough money. I mean, you have 28K, you're making 2K every month. Kind of question if you're even serious about this. Because how do we know that if you can't even put a simple deposit down just to reserve your spot, to think about it when we're very selective on our time with the people that we have, and we only have limited spots, that you can be in a position to actually be successful in the program with the seriousness that we have right now on the call? How do we know that you're going to be serious in the program and we're not wasting our time? Does that make sense? And be like, yeah, I just don't know. I think I'm just scared. I don't think, this is for me. Or they might say, yeah, and you're right. All right, I'm gonna put the deposit down. Right. And if they don't actually put a deposit down, for me, 9 times out of 10, they're not a good fit. Right. And they're not a good fit because they're in a position where they can't even put a deposit down when they have more than enough money. Right. The program, the doubt, that's going to be fine. The partner one, this one's super easy. Right. Got it. So just to let you know, so it only has to do with your partner. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So does your partner know that you're actually on the call? Yeah, they know on the call. Okay. Do they support you within this process? Yeah. Okay. So you've been talking about this. You want to quit your job, and they just want to be in a position where, you guys can hang out more, spend more time with the kids, have a little bit more financial freedom. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. Now, if you did talk to your partner, what do you think your partner would say? Oh, he or she would say, if it makes sense, we just have to look at our numbers, so on and so forth. Then, I'm all for it, right? Or if they say no, we'll kind of play both routes, right? Okay, awesome. So, I mean, and you always challenge them. If you know that your partner wants to do this, and is supportive of you, then, what's the difference of just doing it now? You can just more run it by them, and you won't lose your spot. You can get started today. You can almost tell them like, hey, I'm doing this, and you already support me. Like, let's roll with this. Yeah, but we just have to talk about finances, blah, 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 blah. Okay, got it. Deposits, right? Now, just so I'm making sure and I'm clear of everything, you just have to talk about it with your partner. Is that correct? Yes, just the partner. Okay, awesome. Right? Nothing else? No. Okay. Well, what we can do is just do a simple deposit of $1,000. That way you reserve your spot. You're in a position where you won't lose out on your spot. You can simply talk to your partner, come back. You'll still make sure that we're continuing things forward. Just because we're very selective on time, we have limited spots. And if they go, yeah, I just don't know, challenge them. Well, I mean, what don't you know? I mean, like, you have more than enough money. I mean, it is possible. It's just putting a simple deposit. Yeah, we have to talk. Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to step into your relationship, but I mean, is $1,000 going to be a reason why you can't reserve your spot because you have to talk to your partner about all the finances? Right? And they might say, yeah, I just have to. Okay, just making sure. I don't want to tread on anything, right? But I just want to make sure. Is that the only reason? Right? And they're going to say, yeah, that's the only reason. The partner one's hard because that can be like a cop-out sometimes, but you can always hold your frame and be like, well, honestly, that's just our process. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to step into anything relationship, in your relationship, but is that something that is possible? And they might be like, yeah, I don't know, and then you can do a takeaway if you feel like it's BS, right? If they say no with the partner, right, then another thing that you can do is say something along the lines of, okay, got it. So your partner doesn't support you. Now, is your partner going to be the main reason why you can't do this and accomplish dreams that you want? I mean, like, if you know that he or she probably won't support you, but you want to do this, I mean, do you feel like you can still be in a position to maybe even prove them wrong, but also show that, hey, I am taking action regardless, because you do have your own goals that you have, and it's going to also help them as well? Yeah, but I just don't know if it'll work. Boom. Then you go back to, okay, what don't you feel like will work? Yeah, I just don't feel like X, Y, and Z will work, blah, blah, blah. Okay, got it. So if you, and then you clear that up. Okay, so now that we know that this will work, do you feel like your partner's the only thing that's holding you back from actually doing this? No, actually, I think it makes sense. Boom. Right? We're not doing anything here yet. Right? Fear. Right? I kind of covered fear a little bit. A lot of fear is like, yeah, I don't know if I have to do it. A lot of times what I do with fear is I just start saying like, well, I mean, if you actually do want to hit 7 figures, do you feel like your future self will make a decision to actually take action on this, knowing that you have the money? Or do you feel like your future self will say, hey, just think about it, take some time, be very passive, or be very active? What would your future 7 figure self say? To invest in yourself with a person who's done $30 million in sales and e-commerce and has gotten lots of results with other students? Or just think about it, be passive, probably maybe never do it just because maybe in the moment it's scary, right? And then that way you can kind of combat that. And then you can always go to deposit, right? So I'm just giving you lots of different examples. A takeaway, yeah, I just don't know if it's a right fit if you can't even put $1,000. I got to be honest. They might be like, oh, wait. Yeah, you're right, right? Now say, this is super easy, right? So like say the finances don't work where they have like, I don't know, like 4K plus 2K every month. If they go, is there any reason why I can't work? Well, yeah, obviously I just don't have enough money for the ad spend or anything. Okay, no worries. Well, what if we do something like this? $2,750 today and $2,750 for days. And this makes sense, right? And then you're going to go through the whole process. Well, talk to my partner. I don't know about the program. I'm a little scared. And these are going to be all interchangeable. Fear is typically at the very end, right? But like the program, the doubt, sometimes with the partner, the finances, like all this kind of goes interchangeable. So you might have fear in the beginning, then it might go back to here, then it might be a deeper fear. So you always want to make sure that with each objection, this is very important. You make sure that you can break that objection for it to make sense. Oh, what doesn't make sense about the program? Oh, this specific thing. No, actually, we actually do this. What about after 6 months? Oh yeah, we still help you if you want it. Okay, has that happened? Yeah, we just posted a story about 2 days ago where a student's making $1 million, has a 7-figure store because we continue to work with them. Oh, okay, got it. All right, well, maybe I just have to talk to my partner about it. Oh, what do you have to talk to your partner about it? And then you go through that whole sequence. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they're already going to support me. I can do it now. And then you go, maybe I'm just a little scared, right? They bring up fear. Okay, reinvestment strategy, identity of their future self to their current self, right? And then you just go, this could be interchangeable, right? So hopefully this has helped. Let me know if you have any questions on this, because I think this is super, super, super helpful, right? Of everything that we went to, right?